Welcome to Development Book Club. Today we will continue with Turning the Wheel of Truth, and we'll discuss the third and fourth Noble Truths as they are approached in this book specifically. So we'll hop right in. Chapter 6 is about the third Noble Truth. He calls it switching off the dark. And the third Noble Truth is about the cessation of suffering. He spends a lot of time in this chapter talking about the 5 spiritual faculties of mind, which are faith, applied energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. Some of those terms are more familiar to us than others. So let's hop in. Faith, the Pali word is saddha, S-A-D-D-H-A. And this is where we first feel inspired by a teaching, for example. Here the idea is that this inspiration can come from us just from reading or hearing a teaching and not actually having experienced whatever it's talking about in the sense of, let's say, enlightenment or something. Applied energy is viriya, which is our can-do instinct. Mindfulness, sati, we know. Our ability to pay attention, concentration is samadhi, to bond our mind to an object, the breath, for example. And wisdom is panna, which is our ability to discern or discriminate. A few further points or an expansion about faith or saddha here. It rests in 3 things. So the Buddha, number 1, an awakened one, can arise from human roots and lay down a teaching in this world. There's also faith in the Dhamma, which is to say that there is order, balance, and truth that can be experienced by applying oneself to those teachings. And then thirdly, faith rests in the Sangha, S-A-N-G-H-A, which is the Pali word for a community, like a meditators, let's say, the ongoing community of committed disciples. A note there's a quote from Ajahn Chah in here on letting go, which he says, if you let go a little, you get a little peace. If you let go a lot, you get a lot of peace. And if you let go completely, of course, you get complete peace. Additionally, in terms of abandonment, we talk about cessation and things coming out of existence. Unlike the craving to get rid of or to not be here or to be something, abandonment has to be accompanied by faith, wisdom, energy, mindfulness, and concentration. So these 5 things, so it's done properly. And there's an awesome quote at the very end of this chapter that I'd like to share with you now. We can know that suffering arises. It's a dynamic that we can notice happening. It's not inevitably bound up with the way we are. We can observe and learn. We can develop spiritual faculties to realize the purity that is based on abandonment. Because with abandonment, there is the experience of the mind at rest from craving. This is cessation. A few notes on the fourth Noble Truth, the Great Way, as the chapter is called, which is the Eightfold Path, which we've covered before. So here I'm only going to mention a few things that we have not talked about before, or insights from the path. So he points out that there are limits to the path metaphor. It's not, I am here and I'm going to get there. It's not about going to another location. It's about widening and exploring our psychological space to include everything at all, which is to say the actions, roots of actions, handling actions, and the place where actions cease. On right view or right understanding, Cito says that we can live in relationship but not entangled with this world. So clearly we're here, we don't have to be entangled or caught up with it. Seeing the need to tune in to cause and effect is a right view. Again, there's much said about dependent origination and cause and effect. Right intention. Here this is explained as body awareness. We have to feel the tightening in our chest and our pulse rate picking up, let's say. So bodyfulness is another way to put that. Our temperature elevating. Breathing in, breathing out. And we can allow ourselves to relax around an image of whatever that object may be. Additionally, whatever the bhikkhu frequently thinks and ponders on, that will become the inclination of his mind. On right livelihood, here his approach is, what keeps us alive? He asks, how can we not be too busy? So at least I personally, when I think about livelihood, talk about what do we do for our work? We should not be involved in alcohol, tobacco, firearms, war, stuff like that. And here he talks about our inclination of busyness in work especially, and how we can avoid that. Additionally, from the Buddha, he says, a little advice from the Buddha says, look after family and friends, to put aside some savings, to give some away to worthy causes, and to avoid wasting money on drink, gambling, and fooling around. a few notes on right effort is that you do not need a jackhammer to crack open a nut. Sometimes soaking it in water will do. So try putting more energy towards practicing with kindness and patience. There's no amount of hammering that will ever ease your mind from despair or grief. So try faith and compassion instead in terms of right effort. All right, mindfulness. Mindfulness with full awareness is the kind of attention that sees phenomena arising and ceasing in consciousness. That's really the key here, which has been repeated a couple times in this book already. And finally, on right concentration, consider doing a headstand, what that looks like. So getting upside down and balanced takes effort and mindfulness, a lot of effort actually. But once you're in the pose, in the headstand, there is a balance that is sort of restful. It takes less energy to maintain than to attain. Mindfulness is present to be watchful of the balance and the fluctuating tendencies that will cause you to lose your balance. And there is a residuum of effort to maintain the pose, which the amount of effort decreases as you become more assured in your balance. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.